this is Kaylee. This is my first video of urban sketching in the San Francisco Bay Area. So right now, I'm just under the Bay Bridge. So I'm going to flip and show you what I'm drawing. So I've been coming up here for quite a bit, and it occurred to me that maybe people would like to see urban sketching on location, because there isn't any YouTube video. So this is going to be my first video of San Francisco urban sketching on location. So there is the Bay Bridge, there's Treasure Island, and then I'll show you what I'm working on right now. I'm almost finished with it, and then in the future maybe I'll get myself a whole headlamp for the GoPro, but for now, and this is what I'm finishing up right now. See this bow and arrow? And I do the buildings in the back. So, of course, there's other people going to be walking around me. When you're in public, it can be videotaped, even though I know there's plenty of YouTubers that like to get people's goats. There's a ferry, two ferries, going under the Bay Bridge. I don't know exactly where they're going. And what I like to watch is these big freighters, but there isn't a big freighter going by. So I will show you what I'm drawing right now. So start at about here, and then you can see the whole pier, which is Pier 2, because the odd numbers go the other direction. There's the Ferry Building, and there's my bow and arrow. And this is what I'm drawing right now. And it's got this cartoony colors to it. So I draw it all. You can see the Tombow watercolor markers, which I'm getting tired of the Tombow watercolor markers. I feel like my colors are kind of inhibited by only going from those. Although I paint and then I add the water afterwards. So I have a cartoony type taste. So here's a very short video. Start, and I would love to have people make comments. Let me know what you think. Would you like to see more of San Francisco sketching on the San Francisco Bay? There's another ferry. Thanks for watching. Oh, I have to add this. I've added this video to the end. There's a big freighter that I like to watch them go by. Of course, when I'm looking at them, they look much bigger than they do in my video here. Here, I'll zoom in so you can see the big freighter. Something's on top of that freighter. And then they got the little one behind it to make sure. But those are always really fun to watch go across under the Bay Bridge. So I'm going to keep videotaping this so you can see, which I will do this in the future if somebody makes a comment. I'm not going to speed it up because then you wouldn't have watching the freighter go across. I can read that it says Allied Brooklyn. Looks like an actual building on the left there. You really wonder what those yellow 3 stands are. They're attached. They look kind of like mini bridges. No, the white on the left is part of the freighter. I think they're just shipping the yellow stuff, would be my guess, but anybody else knows, by all means, make a comment, like and subscribe, and then if we get more people watching my videos, I'll do this more often. But I just thought it'd be fun for people to watch sketching on location, and I'm not going to speed up my sketching. We can watch that big freighter go under the Bay Bridge. There was a time when I saw a blimp, and it was going from a different location up here, and it went very close to the top of one of those spears of the Bay Bridge. Now, while I'm videotaping that, I'll show you some other drawings that I've done while in the second part. Show you some other ones that I can maybe do again. People make comments. You can watch the ocean while I'm drawing. Okay. watch. So here are some other drawings that I have done. I gotta unzoom. This is a picture of the back of the Ferry Building. I haven't added in very many blacks and whites. I usually wait that to the very end. I pencil it all out, practice my perspective. Oh, this is actually Santa Cruz. I don't really know whether, they always say to add people to make it more personal, but we see people all the time. I don't need to add people to my sketches. This is the front of the Ferry Building, and I liked doing all the detail work. So I come up and I sit for a couple of hours in each location until I have to get water in the toilet. And that's why I been liking around the Ferry Building a lot. See, you can see the Ferry Building right over there. It's a very short walk. This is Sue Bierman Park, which I've finished this one out of blacks and whites. I'm going to do another, I'm working on a panoramic of that, so I'll show that later. This is my version of the Winchester Mystery House. This is a San Jose Municipal Golf Course. Oh, this is, I can't show you this because I'm still working on this. This is down the street going towards Oracle Park. So let's see, let's get back here. I showed you Sue Bierman Park, the front of the Ferry Building, Santa Cruz, the back of the Ferry Building, the bow and arrow that I'm working at finishing today. And this is the side of the Ferry Building up close. If you can see, right, there's a statue of a whale there, and that's when I started doing 360 sketches. This is looking a different direction, so from this picture the Ferry Building is to my right. I think this is an insurance company. I did use a ruler there, but I don't usually use a ruler very often. This is, the Ferry Building is right behind me here, doing all the colors. This is the end of Pier 7. This is going north of the Ferry Building, about a 15-minute walk. Pier 7, like I said, odd numbers go north, so I like the bell. And then this is looking over to the right here from the end of Pier 7, which you can't see from where I'm sitting right now. So here's Treasure Island. I said that earlier that I drew this tall building. And here is to the north. See, here's Coit Tower. Here's the Klamath, which you can go on there. That's it. I sat there. There was actually a seal that popped up at me. I tried to fix a mistake when I drew this in black, and then I closed it, and the colors just kind of messed up my ocean, but it's still kind of a cool color. This is looking from the back of Pier 7, and then you can tell this is I'm kind of learning my architecture too. Really, sometimes I've even gone into some of these buildings to ask if there's a public area. This is the waterfront restaurant, but it's closed recently. I did goof here. There isn't as much of a difference here. I think, I don't know where the Salesforce Tower is on this. Salesforce Tower looks like a big phallic symbol. This is Jack London Square. This is Half Moon Bay. Oop, didn't finish that one. And this is the end of Santa Cruz. I haven't finished that one, but I wanted to show you 4 more. This is the end of Pier 41. 39 has all the shops. This is where all the boats come in here to pick up people going on these adventure cats. This is looking forward to Alcatraz. And the previous picture, I didn't like my green, so I decided to make the ocean a very light green. See, this is Fisherman's Grotto from the end of Pier 39. See, 39 has all the shops, and next to it's 41 that's parallel with no shops. I was supposed to go out there. It took me at least 10 hours for each drawing. Go out there, sit for an hour, and then move to different locations. And this is what kind of got me started. I went to the end of that Pier 41 and drew the Ferris wheel, and this is the Franciscan restaurant, an Italian restaurant. So, thanks for listening. Okay, it is now 2 hours later than my previous video. I was drawing my bow and arrow. I was hoping when I finished this video to have a big freighter go across to show you, but I've been waiting 10 or 15 minutes and no such luck, so I decided to just start this video. And this could be a good challenge for you. Don't look back at the earlier picture of my bow and arrow. See what you remember. Oh, part of my paperwork has disappeared, so of course there's other people in my video because when they're in public they can be in a video. Sorry about that. The wind blew. It's not a very windy day here in San Francisco. This is August 20th, 2026. It's 5:30 p.m. of course. And here is my image that I drew. I showed you earlier. And now looking at this a little bit darker, I'm not going to lighten up this video. It does look like a cat. Cat's tail at the bottom. Cat is standing there with the bow and arrow. It's like the tail. So I'm not going to turn this video sideways to show this, because then it's a lot more work. This is going to be a low-key video. So here is my finished sketch. I added in black and white. So here's a game. Don't look back and see what did I add to this. Where did I add the blacks and whites? I do like it. It did come out very good. And I call it my bow and arrow. I also wanted to show you that I have, oh, there it goes again on me, that I name all of my sketchbooks from cartoon characters. So this one is my Mowgli, and I have a picture, so that I create an index, and you can see I have little numbers. I kind of copied that from Ryder Carroll's Bujo book, which I have a big bullet journal that I keep. I draw on that bullet journal too, keep track of my health. And then I'm going to put this in this sketchbook with the numbers and where I was for all the different, I showed you earlier on my drawings. So here's the numbers, where I was. So how'd you do? Don't look back at the earlier picture, but how did you do on seeing what I did for changes, which is taking care of my mother, which is why I started this YouTube channel. I would bring my mother to paint nights and start drawing, and then have her check to see what was different, so the brain books say looking at a picture is the hardest thing of your brain. So what do you think of my cartoon colors? There's the Ferry Building right there, big. There's the big thing, and there's a mountain behind it, and then this is Pier 2 probably, because like I said, even numbers come this way, odd numbers go north. Thanks for listening, and I'm going to probably add some more to this video. Well, it is now 6:30. I'm in San Francisco still, same day, August 20th, 2026. I walked from my bow and arrow. Now this is the back of the Ferry Building. I'm going to keep my phone because this is going to be low key until I get enough followers to make it worth my effort to maybe buy a GoPro and do everything on that on my head. But I kind of think it might be better. Here's a challenge. There's Treasure Island again from my earlier. There isn't any big freighters going across. There's a ferry coming in. I don't know exactly where that ferry could be coming from, but I could look that up and let you guys know. So I'm going to finish this drawing today too. Add all the blacks and whites. It's always hard to decide on, I know with the light, when it's light out, the sun is behind all those buildings. So the front obviously is dark. But I kind of break all the rules, right? As an artistic license. So here's my picture so far. Here's the back of the Ferry Building. It is kind of a fun architectural challenge. This building here, the revolving one, it's always fun to draw. I've actually gone in that building to see, it's an apartment building from I guess a good architect who decided to make it spiraling. So that's not my goofy, quirky art. That is the actual building. And then I'll add the blacks and more blacks and whites and be finished with this today. I don't know what the name of that twisty building, but here, let me zoom in and see whether my video will let me zoom in. See, that is the twisty building. And then here's the other building, and there's the end of behind of the Ferry Building.
Show up and I got chosen, and I hate it.
Maybe when I finish there'll be a ferry right there in front. I have learned that the Tombow, my orange Tombow is fading, but not the other colors, and I decided in all my urban sketching to do the Ferry Building as orange. So my video, low key, gotta forgive me. You can see here, I'll zoom in. Everybody coming across the Bay Bridge. The top part is coming in, the bottom part and the top part always has traffic coming into San Francisco. But I do like San Francisco. I especially like the ferry here. I will do a little research on the Ferry Building, but it does seem like it is the size of a football field, so there's at least 20 different stores and markets and restaurants on each side. Okay, that's it for now. I'll show you. You got to remember what? Make it a brain challenge. Look at it now, and then I'll show you when I finish, maybe in an hour. Okay, it's now an hour later, drawing behind the Ferry Building. Let's see, yes, no, it's 45 minutes, 7:15, I started at 6:30. So, I added in my blacks and whites. I didn't see any big freighters going across to show everybody. You can see how, maybe you can't, let's expand and zoom in on the Bay Bridge. Look at all that traffic coming in. Even now, it's 7:15. I guess people are coming in that live here. Why would you ever live in San Francisco if you don't work here? To each his own. Oh, there you got me. Hi, hi, hi. I look awful, but who cares? There's a ferry. I think that ferry is going to Tiburon. We're taking all the ferries to all the different ferry stops from Sausalito, Tiburon, Vallejo, Oakland, and drawn from them. But if anybody, for that matter, makes a comment, I'll do it again, put it on video. That's what I thought I'd start, because I love sitting here and drawing the ocean. So here is my drawing. Don't look back. But what do you think I added in? I am kind of frustrated because this was kind of a combination of colored pencils. I haven't drawn the color of the ocean yet. I mean, color of the sky, rather. Because I'm not going to do it overcast and ugly like it is right now. I'm probably going to do light blue. Going to add that in with some watercolor. But this paper, I added a Sharpie marker for the whites on top. And darn, if lots of times the white just didn't absorb in. And I was kind of stuck. Did you look back on my previous picture and see what I did different? I mean, it just kind of, there's not really a light source here now. But when there is a light source, it's behind all these buildings. So just kind of played around, having fun. Okay. Let's see what I do next. Okay, I decided to come in to the inside of the Hyatt Regency, and I've been thinking about coming in here. So I'm going to start my drawing in here. If you should watch a movie that was released in 1979 with Malcolm McDowell and Mary Steenburgen, where Malcolm McDowell plays H.G. Wells. It's a good movie. Not any violent, not as much violence as you see nowadays, but that movie has this in the movie. So I have drawn the Hyatt Regency from outside on many occasions. So now I decided to come inside. It's 8 o'clock at night. I usually take the Bard home, but I don't feel like going home yet, and it's getting a little chilly. Got my hat on. So I'm going to lay this out. I thought it'd be kind of cool to get a vision with the elevators behind it. That would be a good picture right there. I'm going to try that later. Today I'm going to draw the pencil sketch of it. I'll show you at the end. Let's see how long it takes me. Thanks for staying around. Okay, I've been sitting here for about an hour and 15 minutes doing this drawing. Laid out in pencil. But you can see the lighting on that. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna go ask if they have a name for that. I want to say obelisk, but I don't know. You can see how I'm gonna try to draw everything behind it in my drawing. But I've actually drawn this in my Dodge. I call it my Dodge. D for diary, A for art, and J for journal. I try to keep everything together. The other images I drew, I showed you in one of my sketchbooks, but I kind of combine them. I don't want to have so many different books. My logic is in the future, when I look through them, if you have a book journal, or this journal and that journal, I don't think you'll read them all. They're all kind of combined. Those cool elevators going up. So here is my drawing so far. You can see I did the obelisk in the middle, and I did the outside part, drawing all those lines to try to figure it out. It's a good brain puzzle. Join me in the brain puzzle. I only have YouTube and Facebook. I'm not going to join every other Instagram and everything else. But you could always, on my Facebook, Mom Remembers Me, you can always post a picture of you copying me. Let's do it together. Okay. I think this is it for the night. Bye-bye.